with the beat selling game, you need content. You need to at least start with a good 30, 40, 50 beats to give people variety. And then it's just all about consistency. You want to get in shape, you're going to go to the gym every day, or at least the majority of the time, right? It's going to take time to build up that physique and eating right and just doing. It's the same thing. It's just you got to literally do this stuff every day, and you have to stay consistent with everything that you're doing.
Here's something that when I first started advertising on Facebook that confused me. Boosting a post is very easy. Facebook tells you to boost a post all the time.
Boosting posts is kind of just like kindergarten. So it's just not really recommended. The only time I've ever boosted a post, probably like the last year, was with a brand that I've built over the last 2 years and invested tens of thousands of dollars into building them. And maybe it's just something simple like a picture that had lyrics or something. We wanted to drive some traffic to, the Artist Genius page, because we're kind of like trying to build up the lyrical side of things too. For anybody actually trying to advertise, convert sales, and really build an audience, like definitely don't get involved with like the boost posting stuff. Like there's a lot of other better ways to run your advertising campaigns and really have a better grasp on things and give yourself more in-depth targeting and analytics.
I'm trying to get my advertising campaign going, basically. I kind of got my audiences set up, been tracking with a Facebook Pixel, lookalike audiences and all that. But I'm trying to come up with like effective ads, because you're saying, boosting posts is not the way.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I've tried like AdWords on YouTube, kind of too expensive for what it's worth. And just Facebook ads and Instagram ads.
You started advertising on Facebook?
Yeah, I've tried it. It wasn't really worth the money. I probably put about $1,000 in it over the course of like a month, 2 months. It wasn't really a return on my investment.
Yeah, what was your return? I mean, mind me asking if you don't want to put it out.
I probably got about 50-60% of it back. But
the thing with advertising, man, especially when you first get started, is a lot of trial and error, right? So it's like you're never gonna hit the shit spot on like the first time. I still sometimes struggle with campaigns, but it's like you start to know what to look at over time, and you can notice something's not working or something's just not right. So when you first start, you probably, I hate to be negative, but you probably should plan on a little bit of a loss. But I wouldn't spend $1,000, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe scale that down to, okay, I'm willing to lose $100, not $1,000, and do $1 or $2 a day and kind of just see how things are working. But yeah, you should be using the ad manager to do all your advertising campaigns. And then I also suggest everybody, if you're going to run advertising through Facebook and Instagram, download Business Manager as well. It's just like business.facebook.com. Sign up for that. It's free. And then you can integrate your advertising account in the Business Manager. And then if you ever work with anybody else or do different things, you can be added in this. It's just pretty much this giant manager that has everything that Facebook has and the ad manager has. And it's kind of all combined. It's a great tool.
I tried doing stuff with Ad Manager, like creating my own graphics and stuff like that, and that seemed like less effective for me. Or maybe the content wasn't good enough, as in like the graphics weren't good enough or something like that.
With the audio on it, was it okay? So would you guys agree most of the beats you do have some sort of intro to it?
For sure.
4-bar, whatever it is. Yeah. Are you starting the beats just with like how it intro, or are you starting it at a point where it's fucking cranking and like people can really feel the shit?
Yeah, I mean, it goes a minute long, so I normally leave the intro in, and then it goes about 4 bars into the verse.
Try cutting the intros off of your videos, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't have like this universal answer I can give you that's going to change all your problems overnight. But what I'm saying is everything with advertising comes down to trial and error. So chop off the intros, maybe start when the drums come in or whatever it is that, you feel that your beat is like, this is what you like about the beat and you feel like it sticks out, whether it's like the bridge or the hook or whatever. Start it there and try some stuff like that. You can look into carousel ads that basically you can run tons of different beats. And you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think you up to like 10 or even more. And they can all link directly to the beat. So you give people actually a choice. Giving people a variety is a good idea. But I mean, if you're gonna do like one beat or something like that, I would definitely mess around with how the music is being presented to the casual listener or the person you're targeting or whatever. Because you got to remember, when people are getting these ads, most of the time they're scrolling or they're scrolling on their mouse. A lot of times when you first start advertising too, like I said, it's advertising in general forever is going to be testing. Like I said, you're never going to be 100% right on your ads. But when you first start, it's a lot of testing and a lot of kind of, okay, this works, this doesn't work, this works, this, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you are casting a net out there to drive people, and especially if you have your pixel running, you can actually start seeing what the traffic is doing on your site. Are they, you know, clicking something and adding to the cart? Are they buying something, you know, and stuff like that. So you can actually start measuring these things. And then you can run remarketing campaigns. But you can't run a remarketing campaign if you have no traffic to the thing that is, you know, your pixel on your site. It's not,
let me pick up on that, because I have a question in the chat from Danny, and his question is actually converting visitors to sales. So he says it seems like he can create compelling content to get people to his site, but not convert a sale out of that visit. So what are some ways to make sure that you're converting more sales once the customer's on the site? And I think what you were just talking about was key with the remarketing, with the pixels.
This goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. A lot of people hire me to do advertising, and this, again, isn't aimed at Danny or anybody here. They start, and I usually talk to them a month, 2 months after, and they're like, yo, this shit's not working, man. Like, it doesn't work. I can't do it. And usually what happens is they totally expunge their whole budget for maybe a couple months, realistically, in a short period of time. So now they're disgruntled that it doesn't work. They've spent money. They're not converting sales, and they don't do it anymore. I'm telling you, this shit works. If you're consistent, you literally look at it as saying, I can lose this amount of money every month and be fine with it. If you go to the casino and you blow $200, maybe you shouldn't go there. Maybe you should blow the $200 on advertising. Not really blow, but you know what I'm saying? Test with it. Again, it goes back to him only doing it a month. I think he's starting to send some traffic to his site. I don't know how much he's sending. I don't know what his pixel's firing at and how big his audience is. I don't know if he's, you know, I don't know any of that stuff. But once you keep building that up, you're going to start to see trends and start seeing different things. And then you're going to be able to start running remarketing campaigns, because the average person does not buy something the first time they see it. They might have to see it 10 times, 12 times, 15 times. And when you run ads, that's what happens. They start seeing it multiple times. And then that's usually how sales convert.
All right, just to piggyback off of that question, we have Brainiac, and he's asking, is it best to optimize your ad campaigns for views or engagement?
I mean, if you're trying to convert sales, you should be running conversion ads that track your purchases. But if you're just trying to cast your net and get started, do engagement. And that's going to get you the best return. Remember that. That's actually a pretty big thing, I think. I think it's when you're starting, you could do views too if you wanted to. I don't know. I'd rather have that engagement going. And then the other thing you can do, which is crazy, there's text, like the message.